Right, here we are at section 3.3, and the section is titled Problem Solving in Geometry. We have been in the chapter on problem solving, focused on a lot of word problems. Now we're going to involve some geometry in our problems, so a lot of drawing will be helpful. Even if the picture has already been given to you in the problem, I would recommend that you redraw it so you can really catch what is being given to you and what you're being asked to do. So we are going to have to memorize some formulas. Area and perimeter of a square, rectangle, triangle, trapezoid. And so because we have to memorize, recall that what we've been talking about is you can memorize something 4 times as fast if you do the following. Every time you use it, you write it, say it, which means that while you write it, your eyes are going to see it, and while you say it, your ears are going to hear it. And if you do that every time you use the formula, you'll have this memorized in no time. So every time you use the formula. Okay, so again, looking at some of the ones we have to know for this section, we've got area of a square, side times side, perimeter of a square. So area is all the space inside the borders of the figure. Perimeter is adding up all the side lengths. So it's like creating a fence around an object where the area is like the grass that's inside that fence. Okay, if that helps you. So the area of a square, s squared, that means side times side. Some of you learned it as, length times width, and that's fine too. Perimeter, you add up all the sides, s plus s plus s plus s, which gives you 4s. And you can find this table on page 203 if it's a little too small to read in your book, on your notes, sorry. Rectangle area, length times width. Perimeter, you're going to add up the length plus the width plus the length plus the width, so it's 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. In my opinion, you don't necessarily need to memorize every single perimeter formula. You just need to remember that perimeter is adding up all the side lengths around the outside. Okay. And if you can remember to do that, you don't have to memorize that it's 4s or 2l plus 2w. You just add them all up and it'll be there for you every time. So there's shorter ways to memorize than every single little formula too. Square and rectangle, you can just memorize one formula for area. It's always length times width. Square just happens to be the same length and width. Okay? For triangle and trapezoid, you won't have to memorize a particular perimeter formula. Again, if you're asked for perimeter, you just add up all the sides. Okay? But they do want you to know the specific area. A triangle is actually a rectangle cut in half. So it's going to be that base times the straight up and down height times half. So area is 1/2 base times height, and the height is the straight up and down perpendicular. For trapezoid, a trapezoid is actually a rectangle that has also been sliced, but now you have these 2 different tops and bottoms. So instead of just being able to go length times width, it is half length times width, where you've got height here as what used to be known as our width, and then you're taking the average of these 2 lengths. So that's where the half comes in. It's half of these 2 top and bottom added together. It creates the average length. So it's a rectangle that has been moved around. It's been sliced and moved around here. So it means we need to find the average of the length. So it's half and the 2 lengths added together, and then it's times the height, which would have been this original width of the rectangle when it was back together. Okay, so that's where that comes from. 1/2 height times a plus b. It's the average length times the height. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next video, and we'll do a couple examples of perimeter and area, and then you'll have a try problem. See you there.